Hey guys, Jefftron Midget here. So I got a pretty cool gun to do a video. Pretty excited about this one. So this is a friend's gun. Basically, he stopped playing airsoft for a little while. So have I, because I'm still recovering from my knee surgery. But he wanted to get it upgraded before he went out and played again. So here it is. It is a G&G combat machine. It's a pretty budget gun as far as a base gun. It's a plastic body, but it actually has some pretty nice internals and shoots really good. So start from the back. He put a Matrix full stock on here. I had to put it on for him. I don't know why he decided for long stock, but it's up to him. It's totally his choice. He does get a lot of battery space, so that is a positive. The battery that I have in here is not what he's going to use, but it's about the same power. So I've got a 2000 milliamp 15 to 25C Nanotech. This is a great battery for a gun like this. His is, he got one of the Titan Power, like 5,000 milliamp 11 ones. I think it's only like 10 to 20 C, so a little bit less C rating than this, but like over twice the amount of actual power in it, milliamp. Moving forward, just a standard combat machine body with the tan pistol grip. Flip up sights are G&G with the push in the button. They're actually pretty nice, if I'm being honest. The sight on the top I put on there, it is mine. It's a GMP Comp 2. It's broken, and I've had it for like 6 years. So, I don't know, if he wants it, I could sell it to him for super cheap just for looks. But if he wants to put something else up there, he can. On the front, it has the almost like Mark 18 looking style rail. It is plastic. It's from G&G. There's 2 rail covers, one on each side. He doesn't have a vertical grip on here, but I figure he'll probably put something on there. And then the flash hider here is actually a quick detach, which is cool. I have a G&G suppressor with foam in it, so we will try it with it on there. This is for my SR25 with HPA, so it is super quiet. But with the AEG, it doesn't do much. In terms of the hop-up, it's actually all stock. Hop-up barrel and bucking. G&G greens are really nice. Sometimes the G&G hop-ups don't work, but this it works great in, and it's because I kept a lot of the stock parts G&G. It just has the standard G&G gearbox shell in there. Really not the strongest, but it is what it is. If this ever cracks, I'd probably replace it with a Lonex. Regardless, it does have the G&G shell, G&G nozzle, G&G tappet plate. I cut the tappet plate spring so that it returns quicker because the rate of fire is higher. It's just a modification I do. It also has SHS 13:1 gears, brand new set. I'm actually using the stock G&G bevel gear because it just meshed perfectly, so that's what I'm running. So if it ever breaks, again, it's a friend's gun. I have plenty of SHS brand new ones I'll put in there, but I like the way the G&G meshed, so I went ahead and used it, and they're strong. They're heat treated actually. So good gear set, 13:1. It's got a SHS metal rack piston with the G&G piston head. Action Army, I think is what it is. The M120 by Action Army. It shot too hot. In fact, actually, even out of this barrel length, it was shooting 410 with a .20, which is just too hot. So I was actually probably a little higher than that, 415, something like that. Anyways, I short stroked it by 2 teeth, and now we're getting 355 to 360 with the 2.5, which is 1.5 joules with 2 5s. And that should be about 395 with a .2 or 400, so pretty perfect. This is an outdoor gun only. Now, G&G uses copper bushings, so I obviously replaced those. There's a fly somewhere here. But I replaced the bushings, the copper ones, with steel SHS bushings, and they work totally perfectly, fit great inside the gearbox shell. It has a Leviathan, Jefftron Leviathan MOSFET, the first one I've tried. It does have a fuse in the back, but it is long enough, the Deans, and it is wired to Deans out of the box, thank goodness. And it is enough to reach to the back of the stock. So that's actually good news for anyone that wants to put one of these in like an SR25 or anything with a full stock, or let alone a stubby full stock. The wires are plenty, which is great. It does have a 30 amp fuse in there, like I said. You're not going to be able to see it, I don't think. They probably should have put a 40, in my opinion. 40 amp is pretty good. Now, I actually have the amperage set on the MOSFET for 50, so I'm not sure why there's an actual digital fuse, it seems, on the settings for the Bluetooth, but also a physical fuse. I'm not sure why they did that. Regardless, it hasn't blown and it works fine. It did come with a black trigger because it actually uses a proprietary trigger, which is actually kind of unfortunate. But they sell like blue trigger, red trigger, and the black trigger. It's cool. It looks a lot like one of the Retro Arms ones. It's CNC'd. It's decent, but it is kind of disappointing that they are proprietary because you're kind of stuck with this. But you can modify, but it's actually, it looks like it would take a little bit to modify a standard trigger. I did shorten it. The trigger actually comes with the screw, and you have to Loctite it because that screw will loosen up. So I Loctited the screw, and it probably fires like right here, but it has a bunch of play. But you'll see, you can get it going pretty quick. Reminds me of like Gate Titan or one of the Perun V2s, like an optical trigger. That's how it feels. It fires nicely, and the trigger, the actual pull, I used a really light spring, so you can get it going, trust me. And the last thing is a ASG 30K motor, boost, brand new. So all the parts are brand new in this thing, shoots pretty good. I have the rate of fire actually delayed a little bit, but it's 95%. So 5% more, I don't know, a couple RPS, I think it was like 3 or 4 higher, because I was getting 35 on a full charge out of this, which is just too fast. I don't think it would feed at that. The goal was 30 rounds a second, because it does shoot pretty hard, and so I delayed it. It's 95%, and you'll see it's pretty close to 30 RPS. And if I didn't say already, I short stroke by 2 teeth on the sector gear, so it's not full stroke, so the shell is not being super punished. We're just going to do semi-auto. 357, 357, 358, 358, 360, 358, 356, 361. It's very consistent. 361 is the highest we got, and that is 1.52 joules with 2 5s. That's pretty impressive. That's with 2 teeth short stroke. 362, 359, that's one of the lower shots, and it's 1.5 exactly. So I have it overhopped a little bit. I'd say 200 feet. Yeah, it's just a little bit of an overhop. If he wanted to push it out even further, I guarantee you he could hit people at like 240 feet. Guarantee you, if he overhopped it a little bit more. But right now it's like 220. Like I said, you can spam the trigger all day. See how it fires there? But it has play. It doesn't matter, so he can shoot it like that. I mean, you can see how consistent that is. And then out in that field, I can really see how far it shoots. How this mag is going to feed, it's just a Chinese cheap mag. These are Balkan 2/8. Okay, let's try a little bit of full auto. If not a little bit faster, maybe like 31, 32. Wow. And he can burst it a little bit. Okay, so here it is with the suppressor. It's not much difference. Maybe it is a little bit quieter. There's just no sound coming out of the front, but you can still hear the gearbox. See, without it, you can kind of hear, it's like breaking the air at the front of the gun. Whereas with this on it, it covers all that air. So it's a little bit quieter. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The trigger response, it has a longer pull for sure, but it's just as responsive as the Perun V2's opticals. I like those MOSFETs a lot, and they're just as quick as a BTC. You just don't get that, like that Mark II BTC little button, or like a Fusion engine. You don't get that with this, unfortunately. But it's still a great competitor to the other MOSFETs, and they're only like $100, maybe 110, I think, with the trigger. That's pretty dang good, if you ask me. So definitely recommend the Leviathans, Jefftron Leviathans. Currently, I've only had a sample of one, but my lizard back there. Well, don't you puff up at me. You gonna say goodbye, Bubby? Say goodbye for me. Boop. Oh, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.